Simple pleasures. I think we take them for granted. This morning I had a rough time. My intention was to get up, stay in my pajamas, work at my computer to finish the beta read that I'm doing for an author friend, and then take care of a few things around the house. What actually happened was a lot more stressful because I ended up having to do some official things that I didn't expect to be dealing with today. So I did have to actually get dressed and go out in public, and the things I needed to handle didn't quite work out the way I hoped they would originally. So I had to make several stops, and I don't think the outcome is quite what I was hoping it would be, but you know, these things happen, and it turned me into a bundle of stress. So JT was over at Comma Coffee doing his morning writing outing, and he invited me to stop by and say hi. So I hadn't initially intended to do that, but since I was out driving around anyway, I thought I would. And we sat there and chatted for a few minutes, and that started to lower my blood pressure because it's always good to sit down and talk things out with your significant other. It's very helpful. And then we decided to have lunch together. So we both ordered turkey wraps, and they were delicious. Lots of turkey and really good red onions. Chef's kiss. Simple turkey wraps, you know, but as I was eating, I could feel my stress reducing even more. And then as we were walking back to our cars, there's a little ice cream shop near Comma Coffee called Scoops. And I decided, spur of the moment, to go in and get myself an ice cream because I haven't been there since I retired almost 2 years ago now. So I was overdue. That was good. It was a scoop of butter pecan in a waffle cone, and I was just flashing back to my childhood while we would be doing little shopping trips. We would stop at Thrifty Drug where they still had the ice cream counter, and you get a scoop of ice cream in a cake cone for like 5 cents. Yes, I am that old. And I think it was something like 5 cents a scoop, so you could get like a triple cone for 15 cents, but we usually got the 5-cent single. And my favorite ice cream has always been Rocky Road. I just love the chocolate and the marshmallow and the walnuts. It's just so good. So Scoops didn't have any Rocky Road because I think their flavors may change daily, but the butter pecan, I hadn't had that for a long time, and it was really good. So JT and I were standing out in McFadden Plaza, which is the space in between the building where Scoops is located. It's Scoops and Mom and Pop's Diner, and then on the other side of the plaza is the Fox Pub, which is the old St. Charles Hotel. So we were standing out there. JT did a quick TikTok, and we were enjoying the beautiful blue skies and the fresh air. It's not nearly as windy as it was yesterday, and just having a few quiet moments together. No rush to go anywhere. Neither of us had any really pressing plans because I took care of my errands for the morning and already got that stress out of the way for the day. So just took time to get some deep breaths and enjoy the simple things like just being together in the fresh air outside the house. You know, as retirees, we spend a lot of our time together, really, aside from JT's almost daily outings to Comma Coffee to do his couple hours of work. We are usually together, and that's a great thing. We enjoy spending time together, but it was nice to spend time together outside the house. So it was a nice reminder of the simple pleasures in life. So I recommend that if you are having a rough day, that you take a moment and step back and think of things like, what was your favorite thing to do as a kid? What was your favorite treat? Did you just go sit in the park on the swing and enjoy the weather? Did you go to the local community pool? Did you go for a bike ride or something along those lines? It was, I think childhood especially my childhood. I don't know about younger kids because my own kids spent a lot of time indoors, unfortunately. We lived in some pretty urban areas. We did have some playgrounds and things like that, but they didn't tend to leave first thing in the morning and stay out all day the way I did as a kid. And I do regret that because those days, those were some of the best memories as a kid. I distinctly remember things like visiting my aunt and uncle for the summer. I would go spend time with them, and they had horses, and they lived in a more rural area than I did. So my cousins and I would go out horseback riding or bike riding, or we'd go swimming, or we'd go roller skating, or so many different things, but nothing really overly planned. It was just usually whatever we felt like doing on a particular day, we did it if we could. And if the adults were busy, that could be just saddle up a horse or even ride bareback with a rope bridle. I mean, we kept it really simple sometimes. Those days were wonderful. And it's nice to have a reminder of them every once in a while. Not to say that we didn't have stressful times as kids, because into every life there was always a stressful time. Usually they were related to school, getting school projects done in time or things like that, or maybe bullying. Other kids might be bullying. I had quite a bit of that as a kid, and I'm sure many others did as well. So those are not the times I like to remember. The times I recall are usually summer vacations when, like I said, we would do things like roller skate, bike ride, and horseback ride, and all the good things. Anything outside in nature was awesome, and didn't necessarily have to be with anyone else. I could be out, just go to our local park and find a swing, or just lay in the grass and watch the clouds go by. That was always fun. Try to decide what the shapes of the clouds looked like. And of course, with my imagination, I'd be lying there watching the clouds, making up stories in my head, if there were dragons flying over me or something like that. So simple pleasures, really. What it all boils down to, I think, is the simplest things can be the most enjoyable ones. We all want to get the next most exciting new thing, but I think we forget that we can be happy without all those things. And that's something I think about when I look around my house and all the things that I've accumulated over the years. It's like, sometimes I wish I hadn't gotten all the things that I'd wanted to get, because they were fun for a little while and then they ended up in a closet somewhere, and I went back to doing all the simple things that I enjoy. Humans are interesting creatures. So I would just like to recommend that if you're having a rough day, take a moment, go lie in the grass if you can, or sit down with a good book. You don't have to go out and get a new one. Find your favorite read on your bookshelf, or find an old TV show that you love, something like that. Go on a date with a friend or a family member or your significant other. Treat yourself to an ice cream cone if you can eat ice cream. I mean, there are so many options. There are so many things we could do. So that was my exciting adventures for the day. The official things that I was trying to get worked out are still in limbo. So I'm hoping that they will be resolved soon and they won't keep stressing me out. And in the meantime, I will be continuing to work on the beta read for my author friend, and need to get back to my